In the second half of the version 2.6, our favorite gambler is finally getting his first rerun, and being considered the best sustainer of the game, the interest on pulling him is out of the roofs. In this video, I will talk about everything you need to know about Aventurine, how he works, how to build him, who is good with him, and most important, if I think he's worth your pulls. So just before the video starts, don't forget to leave your like and your sub. That way, you will not only be supporting the channel, but you will also increase the chances for me to pull for E6 Sunday. I also recommend you checking my links on the description. I have some of them that can help you, just like my Twitch channel, where I stream a lot, and you are able to win free blessings by participating on them. And U7Buy, where you can use my code and have a discount when buying Stellar Jades. Now that everything is said, let's now explain Aventurine's kit. Aventurine is a 5-star imaginary character that follows a path of preservation and is focused on being a sustainer for your teams while also doing some damage with his follow-ups and ultimates. On his basic attack, Straight Bat, Aventurine deals imaginary damage equal to percentage of his defense to a single target enemy. When you use his skill, Cornerstone Deluxe, Aventurine provides all allies with a shield that can block damage equal to percentage of his defense, lasting for 3 turns. When the Fortified Wager is gained repeatedly, the shield effect can stack up to 200% of the current shield effect provided by the skill. On his ultimate, Roulette Shark, Aventurine randomly gains between 1 and 7 points of blind bet, then inflicts a nerve on a single target enemy for 3 turns, and deals imaginary damage equal to percentage of his defense to the single target enemy. When an ally hits an unnerved enemy target, their crit damage dealt by this attack increases by a percentage. On his talent, Shot Loaded Right, Aventurine will increase the effect res of all allies under the protection of his shield by a percentage, and when they get attacked, Aventurine gains 1 point of blind bet. When Aventurine has his shield, he can resist ground control debuffs once every 2 turns, and he will additionally gain 1 point of blind bet after getting attacked. Upon reaching 7 points of blind bet, Aventurine consumes the 7 points to launch a 7-hit follow-up attack, with each hit dealing imaginary damage equal to a percentage of his defense to a random target, and blind bet is kept at 10 points. And for last, on his technique, the red and the black, Aventurine will gamble on a defense increase buff, where he has a chance of increasing your defense by 24%, a high chance of increasing your defense by 36%, and a small chance of increasing your defense by 60%. When this technique is used repeatedly, the acquired effect with the highest buff value is retained, and when the next battle starts, increases all allies' defense by the corresponding value, lasting for 3 turns. On his minor traces, Aventurine will get a total of 35% defense, 14.4% imaginary damage, and 10% effect res, which will help increasing his damage and sustain. On his first major trace, Leverage, for every 100 of Aventurine's defense that exceeds 1600, his own crit rate is increased by 2%, up to a maximum increase of 48%, meaning that if you want to reach the maximum crit rate buff he can give you, you will need to get at least 4k defense. On his second major trace, Odd Hand, when the battle starts, grants all allies a shield with the effects equal to 100% of the one provided by the skill, lasting for 3 turns. And for last, on his third major trace, Bingo, after a teammate protected by his shield launches a follow-up attack, Aventurine accumulates 1 blind bet point. This effect can trigger up to 3 times, and its trigger count resets at the start of Aventurine's turn. Also, after Aventurine launches his follow-up attack, provides all ally targets with a shield that can block damage equal to 7% of Aventurine's defense plus 96, and additionally grants an extra shield that can block damage equal to 7% of Aventurine's defense plus 96 to the ally with the lowest shield effect, lasting for 3 turns. For his trace priorities, you should focus on your talent and skill with a similar priority, but focusing more on your talent, then your ultimate, and for less your basic attack, which is worth leveling up some levels, because if you build your Aventurine right, you will most likely just spam basic attacks. For his relics, Aventurine's best insult relic set will depend on what's your focus for him. If you want to make your Aventurine into a strong sustainer for your account, or Peace Knight of Purity Palace will be your best option, since it will increase your defense by 15% on its 2-piece effect, and on its full effect, the max damage that can be absorbed by your shields increases by 20%. If you want to take advantage of those free 48% crit rate from his passive and wanna make him deal decent damage, then 4-piece Pioneer Diver of Dead Waters will be your best option. It will increase your damage against opponents with debuffs by 12% on its 2-piece effect, and on the full effect, you will get up to 8% crit rate and 24% crit damage if you go against opponents with 2 or 3 debuffs, and if you can apply debuffs yourself. If you are still farming for his best set, You can always mix and match two pieces within the sets that provide defense, speed, and damage percent. For planar ornaments, Aventurine's best in slot, no matter what you plan to do with him, will be Broken Kill. It will give your Aventurine an extra 10% effect res, on top of what he already has from his traces and shields, but it will also increase your team crit damage by 10% if you have at least 30% effect res, something that Aventurine will always have. And Earthsell Soto can be a good substitute while you farm Broken Kill, since it provides 8% crit rate and 15% ultimate and follow-up damage for your Aventurine. If you want to maximize Aventurine's damage, Duran, Dynasty of Running Wolves, will also be a good option since it will give you 25% follow-up attack damage, depending on the number of follow-ups your allies do, and it will also give you extra 25% crit damage if your allies do a max of 5 follow-ups. Now, talking about substats. For the chest, defense or crit damage. For the boots, defense or speed. For the orb, defense or imaginary damage, and for the rope, defense. For the substats, you should focus on defense until 4k, speed, crits, and effect res. For Aventurine Lightcones, his best in slot will be his signature, Inherently Unjust Destiny. This Lightcone will increase your defense by 40%, and when you provide a shield to an ally, your crit damage will also increase by 40% for 2 turns. Also, when launching a follow-up attack on the enemy, there is a 100% base chance of increasing the damage taken by the attacked enemy target by 10%, lasting for 2 turns. His second best option will be the Jeopard signature Moment of Victory. This Lightcone will increase your defense and your effect hit rate by 24%, while also increasing the chances of being attacked. And when you get attacked, your defense is increased by an extra 24% until the end of your next turn. Day 1 of my new life will be your best 4-star Lightcone, especially at higher superimpositions, because it will not only provide you 16% defense, it will also increase your allies' all-type res by 8%, something that can go up to 24% defense and 12% res at S5. Other 4-star options you can use are Aventurine on some specific scenarios, are Trend of the Universal Market for teams that require debuffs like Acheron or Doctor Ratio, Lando's Choice if you wish to trigger more follow-ups, and Concert of 2 to increase your damage. And for last, his best F2P option will be the Forgotten Hall Store Lightcone Destiny Threads for Hoven, which increases even more your effect res by 12%, and for every 100 defense you have, your damage will be increased by 0.8% with a max increase of 32%, something that at S5 will increase to up 48% damage. For Aventurine teams, he will be a good universal sustainer for any team you need, with focus on teams that rely on follow-up damage. So here are some team options. For a Fei Xiao team, pair him with Fei Xiao, Topaz, Mose or March 7, and Robin. For an IPC team, pair him with Dr. Ratio, Topaz, and Robin. For an Acheron team, pair him with Acheron, Yao Shu, and Pelo or Sparkle. For a Yanqing team, pair him with Yanqing, Sparkle, and Robin, Runmei or Tingyun. And for a Pure Fiction team, pair him with Erta, Himeko, and Robin or Wanmei. Like I said before, Aventurine will be a universal sustainer for any team that might need him. If you have any team that you really like to use and did not appear here, as well as some doubts on what characters to use instead of the ones I mentioned, feel free to leave it on the comments. Now, I will leave you a showcase of my Aventurine team on this most recent MOC 12.
Show me what you can never hesitate. I won't do. You love. I venture forth to hunt. Forever. Triumphant! Victory is inevitable! I venture forth to forever. Triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
Sure, I'll the dice I bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
Easy number.
Let the valuation begin. Go nappy!
Fangs and claws got soul.
Investing in victory means
maybe I'll take it all.
Star's Echo. Liquidation. Right. Mastering victory means playing the long game.
Show me what you can do. I'll give you 5 seconds. Never. I venture forth to hunt forever. Triumphant! Victory is inevitable! I venture forever. Triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
No dirty tricks. Watch your head.
Easy, Numby.
I venture forth forever. Triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
No dirty tricks. Watch your head. The dice have been bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
Pressing it all together. Great. Star's Echo. Go Numby.
Never hesitate! I venture forth to forever. Triumphant!
So, what's your opinion about Aventurine? Do you think you need to pull him for your account? In my opinion, she's indeed the best sustainer the game has so far. So, if you still don't have a good sustainer, or if you are missing a second one for your other team, picking him might be a good idea. I hope with this video you are not able to understand how he works and how you should build him. Share this guide with others that are still thinking about going for him or not. If you like this guide, don't forget to leave your sub and your like. That way you will support me a lot and help into the craziness of going for E6 Sunday. A special thanks to my members for trying to support me, and thank you so much for keeping me company. See you on the next video or livestream on Twitch, where you can win some free blessings. Stay safe everyone, have an amazing day, and good luck on your pulls.